Okay, wonderful. The session is getting recorded. So let's have a quick recap. Let's have a quick recap as to what we have discussed yesterday. So, oh, sorry. Let me share the screen. So in the last class, as Majid said, we started discussing about protocol advisor. Okay. We also discussed that this protocol advisor is it is not available. It is not available in versions 12.50 or later. Okay, it is available in 12.50, but it is not available in the versions 12.53 and above. Okay, so if you have installed the early, the later versions, you'll not be able to see it. But that's not a big deal. I mean, it should not be a problem. Okay. Okay, that should not be a problem. Okay. Then we started talking about how to record. Okay, record into an action. Okay. Then we have seen how to record into multiple actions. Okay. Then we have understood that how important adding the comments, okay, while recording. Okay, so this is how far we have understood. I have seen some of the assignments being submitted and some of them have issues. After the class, please stay back. Whoever have submitted the assignment, I will review your assignments. Okay. Okay, I think that's about it. So today we'll go a little further and we'll try to understand the other aspects. Okay. So let me see if I can pull out the same script that I have used in the class. I think I have used my second script in the class. Hopefully the session is getting recorded. Yes. So this is the same script that we have created yesterday. I mean, the last class, guys. Okay. So you see, this is the piece of comments that we have added, which means that all this piece of code is for the launch and this piece of code is for the login. Okay. Then the remaining piece of code I have added in the booking flight. So you see, this is the other comment. This is one comment. So this piece of code is for adding, for clicking on the flight. Okay. And this piece of code is for selecting the appropriate options like departure city, arrival city, and all that. And this is for, there are 4 flight options the application has given. So you have selected one option from there. And finally the payment. Okay. And then here is my logout piece of code. Okay. So this is how the script looks like, guys. This is how the script looks like. Okay. So this is how far we have understood the last class. Now we'll start executing the script. But in the last class, what we have understood is here are the steps that you need to have while recording something or while creating the script. First, recording options. Okay, you do whatever you have to set over there. Okay, so that's the first thing. Okay, so you set whatever you have to set in the recording options. Okay, then the next point is you go ahead and record it. The next point is, okay, runtime settings. You do some changes whatever you have to in the runtime settings. Okay, then finally you have to playback, or what would I say, execute. Okay, some people call this as run, different people call it by different names. Okay, so we went to recording options and we played around with certain recording options. Okay, we have clearly understood that and we have recorded. Now we have to make some changes in the runtime settings before I execute. So this is not a mandatory step, guys. This is not a mandatory step. This is not a mandatory step. Okay, but definitely, like right now, I'll skip this step. It's not required at this point of time for me. But as I proceed further, you'll start understanding that definitely we would have to make some changes in the runtime settings. Okay, so or I'll go ahead and make some changes in the runtime settings. Okay, just a couple of them. Okay, so you try to understand what are those, and then I'll go ahead and execute or playback. Okay. So runtime settings, I go to find it from here, which is RTS. Okay, so double click on the RTS, and what I would want it to change at this point of time is the log. Okay, in the general information log. I'll tell you what is log, okay, little later, okay, but right now, this is the setting which I wanted to change. When you're debugging the script, the best step, okay, in the log is the extended log with the parameter substitution, and you're still not able, I mean, there is an issue, and you're still not able to figure out what is the issue. You have to check that one, which is data written by the server. Okay, so later on, I'll look into it. I'll create a situation wherein, you would have to go to this option and enable this option. But at this point of time, I'll not enable this option. I'll just enable this parameter substitution. Okay. I'll tell you why later as to why this is significant. But for now, just go ahead and do it. Okay. But at the later point of time, you will clearly understand what is the significance of this. Okay. Right now we are at the early stages. Slowly, as we proceed further, we will look into each and every option which is available here, or almost all the options. Okay, almost all the options. One option that you are already aware of is the pacing. Okay, when we did the workload modeling, we have understood that we don't use the second option, we use the third option. You are calculating the exact pacing, you use the second option, but you are calculating that n divided by TPS. This is what you will use. We already know that. And the think time. When we know the think time, we have played around with this option, I believe. So you know the think time. The default option is the ignore think time. But before the script goes into the controller, you have to replay back the think time with 50 to 100%. With 50 to 100%. This is also, I think we have seen it. This is one setting we have seen it. Okay. But whenever the script is in the view gen, the best option is ignore think time. Okay. Now we will go ahead and execute. Okay, we went to RTS, we have recorded the script, we went to RTS and we made some changes. Now we will go ahead and play back the script. Okay. Okay, so wonderful. So for playing back the script, there are two things that you can do. One is step by step and one is continuous. Okay, there are two ways that you can execute the script, step by step and continuous. First, I'm going to show you this step by step. Okay, so later on we'll go with the continuous execution when it's required. Okay, first let's go with step by step. So why step by step, you will automatically understand. Okay, now, so for doing the step by step, you can do this. Okay, you can click on this and you can see a step by step, or you can say replay back and then you say step by step. One of these options, either you can go with this one or this one. I'm telling you, this is one of the most important tab or one of the most important bar for any performance tester or any VUGen expert. Most of the things that you wanted is available here. 90% of the things that are significant, that you need it regularly, they're all available here. So just get used to these symbols over here. Okay, no performance tester would actually go to these options, because it takes a little bit of time. So when you practice enough, you understand. Initially you will find it difficult as to what is what, but you hover over it, it will tell you what it is. Okay, but when you hover over it, it will tell you what it is. Okay, so this is recording options, this is record, this is compile, this is run step by step, this is continuous execution, this is for your correlation, okay, this is for the comments. Most of the things that you wanted is all available here, guys. So 95% of the times you need not have to go anywhere else other than this bar over here, okay. So anyway, step by step, you know what is the shortcut for step by step? F10, or you can click on it. Okay, so as I demonstrate, you will understand what is step by step. Okay, so as the name suggests, it's not a continuous execution. Okay, so before I start executing, okay, let me ask a question. Now, if I start executing, guys, what will be executed? User init, login, booking flight, logout, or user end? Which action do you think will be executed to start with? Okay, the question is for everybody, guys. Okay, please try to answer. I don't know, some of you might not know. Okay. Oh my God, a lot of people. So Lashim, you know performance testing before? I'm a little surprised. Oh, it's a guess. If it's a guess, it's a wonderful guess, Lashim. Nice, I'm impressed. Oh, did I show you last time? Okay. Oh, I thought it's a guess. Okay, now you see. Okay, so well, as most of you have said, it is user init. It is user init. Okay, and you see there's nothing there in the user init. So, and return 0 means what? Return 0 means what? Success. Okay, so you see ending the action user init. And by the way, the log. This is the log, guys. By the way, this is the log. Whatever is happening over here, you know, it's all logged here. Whatever the stuff that is happening, or whatever the activity that is happening on the script, the related log or the related stuff, you can see it over here. Okay, so as you execute the related log, you will be able to see it over here. Okay, so I don't know how to explain this to you. Okay, so I don't know, something in US which is common, and then I want to take an analogy and explain this to you. Okay, so let's say, okay, this is not a wonderful analogy, but I'll still try to give you this analogy. Okay, let's go back to your school days. Okay, while your teacher is away, okay, maybe for an hour or whatever it is. Okay, do you have this concept of monitor in your schools? Okay, so while the teacher is away, they pick up a kid and they make the kid as a monitor. So it's very popular in India, but I don't know if in your countries this is something that you know, which is common. Okay, so now let's see what is this. What does this monitor do, or what is the responsibility of the monitor? Okay, he will be carefully watching the entire class. What is he watching for? Any mischievous activity. Okay, mischievous activity or any activity. Okay, in this case, typically it's mischievous activity, but let's assume it's any activity that is happening, and he will log all the information. Log means write down. Okay, log means write down. Okay, he will log or write down all the activity. Okay, in his own style or in his own language, whatever the little English he knows, he will write down not just the names, but let's say the entire activity. You can say that, oh, Mark has been, you know, pulling the legs, or Susan has been, you know, hitting somebody, or Susan was hitting somebody, or Stacy was hitting, or Stacy was talking loudly, or whatever the activity, you know, she would write down. Okay. Oh, it's called class captain. Okay, so let's start using that word. I think from in South Africa it's called class captain. Okay, so class captain. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, wonderful. Okay, so that's in South Africa, I believe. So wonderful. Okay, so so they will log or write down all the activity as to what's going on. Okay, similarly, this log in output replay log is exactly like your class captain or monitor who will write down what is happening, what is the activity that is happening. So watch carefully as I'm executing this piece of code, which is web add auto header. Okay, you see this piece of code is executed and you see the related log is over here. You see web add auto header has started. Okay, it has started, and then web add auto header was successful. So this piece of code was successful. So this related log is over here. The related log is over here. And the log is belonging to what? Login.c. Yes, we are executing login.c. And this web add auto header is there at what? Line number 4. Yes, this is line number 4. See, .c is a file and this is the line number. So this is the log related to that. So all the activity that is happening over here will be able to get that log over here. So it's when it's successful, I don't really need the log, or it's good you have the log, but especially when something went wrong. If something went wrong, this log is very, very handy. This log is very, very handy. Where do you see the log? Okay, are we not executing Shraddha? Now you see, okay, Shraddha is talking about this log here. Can you see this log, all of you? Okay, can you see this log, all of you? Which means that these actions are logged. Now I'll try to type something. You see, I'm typing something. Nothing is being typed here. Why? Because it is under the execution. While the script is under the execution, it will not allow you to make any changes to the script. Okay, that is the reason why the actions are logged. Okay, Shraddha, if you see, I stop the execution immediately. You see, all the scripts, it is unlocked. Now I can add anything that I want. Okay, now I can add anything that I wanted. Okay. Okay, so you see, now I can add anything that I wanted. Obviously, I have put this in comments. Okay, I don't want this piece of code to be compiled and executed by my VGen. So this is the comments that I've added. Okay, so let me go back to the execution now. And you see, as I click on this, it goes to the next line. As I click on this, it goes to the next line. And while the execution is there, it is locked, which means that I cannot change I cannot do any changes to the scripts. So these are the things. Okay, sometimes what happens is it will allow you to make the changes while the execution is happening. This is when you know that your script is corrupted and it will start acting fishy. So you would have to recreate the whole script again. In case if it does allow you, while it is under the execution, if it does allow you to make changes, it means that your script is totally corrupted, guys. Okay, so this is my personal experience. Okay. Anyways, you see, as I execute, the corresponding log will be over here. You see, web add auto header. You see, the header has been started and the header has been successful. Okay, and one more thing people start asking. Oh, when you have created the scripts, I can see these headers and all that. And when I have created the scripts, I don't see these headers, Kumar. What's going on? Is my script wrong? Not necessary. Okay, the script might not be wrong. Okay, the reason why those headers have added is because of my recording options. You see, that's the first thing that you do, right? The recording options and when you record. So depending upon some of your recording options, there are certain piece of code that will be added, and here this piece of code is added because I have certain things which I have done in the recording options. So show me, Kumar. Yes, I'll certainly show you. Okay, so these are the recording options, right? If I click on the recording options and here in the advanced, you see these headers. And by the way, where would you go? Go to HTTP properties and go to HTTP advanced, and you see the headers over here. Click on the headers, and typically, like, if I have some headers over here, okay, so use defaults. Okay, oh, it's not there. Okay, so otherwise you can add some headers. Okay, so you see record headers in the list, and you had these headers. You see, accept language, that was recorded. Okay, and you see GMT permutation. So there are some headers by default, and those headers have been recorded. Okay, well, before recording I have these headers options available here, and those headers are recorded. So whether these headers are necessary or not, it doesn't matter. Just say use defaults, and whatever is the default option, that is right. Okay, but just in case if I have these headers recorded, especially related to the action and certain things, don't get overwhelmed. It is because of those recording options. Maybe when I've recorded the scripts, certain headers have been added over here. Okay, without my knowledge, or with my knowledge, I'll be playing around with my tool all the time. Okay, so the point is, the headers are added or not, that's not important. Whether the script has been successfully executed or not, that's important. Okay, so sometimes certain scripts to execute successfully, the headers are required. Okay, only certain scripts. So how would I know that the headers are required or not? From the log. When you're playing back, and something went wrong and something is failed, okay, something is failed, you get the log. Looking at the log, you'll be able to figure out what went wrong. And in the log, if it says, there is some header missing or something like that, then you have to go back to the recording options, add that corresponding header. Okay, add that, you say record the headers in the list, add the corresponding header, and then go ahead and re-record the script again. Go ahead and re-record the script again. Okay, so once the recording options have changed, the script still stays the same. You have to go ahead and re-record the script so that the new recording options comes into picture. Okay, just by changing the recording options, the script will not change, because recording options are supposed to be changed when? Before recording. But now the recording is already done. If you go back and make some changes to the recording options, you would have to re-record again, so that the new changes or the new options will be applicable. Okay, for example, you see now, let me say I'll add all the headers. Okay, I'll add all the headers, whatever it is. Okay, so see if there is any add all. No. Okay, there's no, but let me add a little bit of few of them. Okay, content type and all that, and you say okay. Now you see there is no change in the script. Now if I go back and record it again, those changes are applicable. Instead of recording it again, what I will do is I'll regenerate the script. So what does this regenerate will do, guys? It will, without you recording, it will record, the tool will record the same steps again, but with new recording options. Okay, now that you have changed the recording options, you have two options. One is go ahead and re-record manually by clicking on this and going ahead and recording, or you simply say regenerate the script, So instead of you recording the same steps again, the tool will record it for you. And this time around, you will observe that there will be a lot more headers that will be added if applicable. Okay, not necessary in the script. I mean, the tool, you have a lot more headers. Okay, the tool will add all those headers. Okay, so if there are no changes in the headers, which means that whatever the headers we have selected, maybe the application doesn't have those headers. That's what it means. Okay. Anyways, so that's what it is. If you make any changes to the recording options, you have to re-record it again, or simply say regenerate. Okay, the new settings will be applied in the regenerate script typically. Okay, if you felt that even after regenerating, the new things which should be there, it's not there, then you have to go ahead and manually record it again. So there's no other option. Okay, there's no other option. And one more thing, I forgot to start the server, guys. Okay, I've started the server. Anyways, so let me go ahead. Again, I will go ahead and do the step-by-step execution. Okay, now you see what happens. Oh, I have to have the runtime viewer on. Okay, there's one more step that you have to do. By default, it will be there, but it's not there. You have to enable it. So you have to enable the runtime viewer. Go to tools, go to options, and go to scripting. Again, what did I do? Went to tools, went to options, went to scripting, when to replay, and then say show runtime viewer. Okay, so I'll give you the path here. Go to tools. Okay, so then go to options. Okay, then once you went to options, okay, then you go to replay. Okay, then after replay, then you say show runtime viewer. Okay, show runtime viewer. Okay, why we are doing this? Why we are doing this? You will right away know this. As I demonstrate, you will right away know. Okay. As I'm executing, I wanted to see what is happening on the what is happening in the application. You'll be able to see this runtime viewer. You see, you have enabled this runtime viewer. You see, show runtime viewer. Okay. So what is the runtime viewer? As you can see over here, this is my runtime viewer. This is my runtime viewer. Okay. As I am executing over here, you'll be able to see what is happening on the application. You will be able to see what is happening on the application. Okay. So you see this web add auto header has been added, okay, which is quite apparent from this log as well, but there is no change in the application, which means that this web add auto header has been added to this web request. Web add auto header is added to this web request. Okay, this header is added to the web request. There is no change in the application. So one more header is added to this request, this web request. Okay, now one more. So 3 headers as added to this web request, and these 3 headers are successfully added. How do I know they are successfully added? Because it is clearly showing in the log. It is clearly showing in the log that all these 3 are successfully added. Added to where, guys? Added to what, guys? Added to this web request. Added to this web request. Okay, so hang on, guys. Okay, so added to where, guys? Added to this web request. Wonderful, guys. So as I execute this, okay, this is what the web request, this is the main thing. Okay, whenever you see web underscore URL or web submit form, web submit data, these are the important requests. These are the important web requests. Okay, by the way, we call this as web request because we are dealing with the web application. So we call this as a web request. Now you see what happens as soon as I execute this piece of code. The first thing that you notice is it will not execute line by line. It will not execute line by line. It will execute the whole piece of code at once. You see, this yellow mark indicates that this is where we are in the execution. Okay, once I click on this, now the line will be executed. This whole thing will be executed. Okay, this command will be executed, or I wouldn't say command. It's an instruction. It's an instruction. Okay, to the Vuegen. This instruction will be executed. This instruction is the web request. Okay, now first thing that you notice is this starts execution. While it starts execution, okay, let me ask the question instead of me telling you. Okay, please tell me, guys. Now I click on this. Now run step by step. Okay, do you think it will run? It will execute line by line or this whole thing? Line by line or this whole thing? Can you please tell me, guys? Line by line or the whole thing? Okay, the whole thing means this whole instruction where the semicolon ends from line number 13 to line number 22. This whole thing will be executed at once, or it will execute line by line. It will execute line by line. Okay, so what do you think? What do you think? Okay, so this whole thing is the web request, guys. This whole thing is the web request, and wherever you see the semicolon, that is the end of the instruction. That's how Vuegen knows that, whatever is there between the semicolon, this whole thing will be considered as one. This whole thing will be considered as one and will be executed at once. Okay, so what happens as I execute this? Let me go to the steps toolbar. Okay, let me pull up my steps toolbar. Hang on, guys. Drawing tools, sorry. Let me open my drawing tools. Wonderful. Okay, so now you see what happened. Okay, there you go. So now now what you see is as soon as you execute this piece of code, this whole piece of code will be executed and the request will be sent to the server. Okay, at the backend there are multiple servers, app server, database server, or whatever it is. All the servers will process your request and sends the response back. and the response back, you will be able to see it over here. So let's execute it to see the response as well. Okay. Okay, you see, that's a response. You see, now launch page has been executed. Now you'll be able to see the launch page. So again, I'm telling you guys what has happened. What has happened? As soon as you execute, the Vuegen compiler has understood that this whole piece of code is together. Okay, it has sent the request to the server. How does it know it needs to send the request? Because clearly you are mentioning the URL over here. So based on the URL, it will go to the server. Server has processed your request and send the response, and the response you are able to see in the runtime viewer. And this is the response. The server has processed and send you the response. So the first thing that you need to notice is, for this request, this is the response. For this request, this is the response. Okay? For this request, this is the response. Are we clear so far, guys? Every step is clearly, it is very, very important. Are we clear? All of you? The multiple times I'll stop and I'll go back and forth. You have to be flexible here. Okay? So first thing you need to understand is, every single Vuegen instruction ends with a semicolon. You see the semicolon over here, which means that this whole thing will be executed at once. You see the semicolon over here, which means that this whole thing will be executed at once. So semicolon, this whole thing will be executed at once. Semicolon, this whole thing is executed at once. So Kumar, why did it spread over 2 lines? Okay, if you don't like spreading it over 2 lines, put it in 1 line. Put it in 1 line. Nobody is going to stop you doing that. Okay? Just for your viewing purposes and making sure that the whole script appears in a nice way, while they recorded, the Vuegen or the Vuegen guys have spread it across to multiple lines so that visually it becomes easy for me. But you are not comfortable spreading it across to multiple lines. You put the whole thing in 1 line. Nobody, I mean, for Vuegen it doesn't matter. For Vuegen it doesn't matter. Okay, so you see, now you compile it. Okay, you see there will not be any issues. You see, no errors detected. And once you start executing, it will go ahead and execute. Okay, so let me put it into 1 single line, all of that. Okay. Okay, so you can, I mean, you can put it into 1 line if you wanted. Nobody will stop you from doing that. Okay. Okay, so okay, so there you go. You see, I've put everything into 1 single line. Okay, now I've compiled it. There are no issues. Now I'll go step by step again. You'll see, you'll get exactly the same result. You see, now web add header is added successfully. Whether it is spread across to multiple lines or a single line, for Vuegen it doesn't matter. You see, it is still successful. You see, I've put that into 1 single line, and you see the web headers are successful now. Okay, so that is just for your viewing purpose. You see, this web request which was spread across to multiple lines, I've put into 1 single line, and then still you're able to see the response that you wanted. Clearly see that response that you wanted. Okay, so the point which I'm trying to make here is, whether you're putting into multiple lines or whether it is in single line, as long as the syntax is right, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether it's in the single line or in multiple lines. How Vuegen understands that its end of the instruction is by looking at the semicolon. By looking at the semicolon, it knows that that's the end of the instruction. So it will take that as a whole one thing and execute it. So are we clear, guys? Are we clear so far, all of you? Okay, we're going to go nice and slow for the initial days, guys. In the next week, we'll pick up real fast. Okay, so this is very, very important. Some of them new to what do you say, scripting and all that. This will be really interesting. Okay. Okay, wonderful, guys. So now we'll proceed further. So Kumar, runtime viewer is the only place from which I'll be able to see the response. No, there is one more place wherein you can see the response. Okay, that is using the snapshot view. What is that? Where can I see the response? Where can I see the response? Where can I see the response? Using snapshot view. Okay, so one is while playing back, while playing back, you can see the response. You can see the response where you can see the response in runtime viewer, okay, which you have already seen for the first request. But after playback, what is the story? Okay, after playback, then where can I see the response? Where can I see the response? Okay, we can see the response in something called snapshot view. You can see the response in snapshot view. Okay, Kumar, if that is the case, please show me the snapshot view. Yes, okay, the snapshot view typically appears over here. You see, this is the snapshot view. Typically, you should be able to see it over here. In case, for whatever the reason, you're not able to see the snapshot view at the bottom, you're not able to see the snapshot view over here. It is supposed to be over here, but if you're not able to see it for whatever the reason, don't worry, you can get the snapshot view from here. I said this is the most important bar for any performance tester. Okay, you'll be able to see the snapshot view from here. Click on that, then the snapshot view will appear. Or you can say view, and from here you will be able to get the snapshot view. So this is one of the very, very, very important view for performance tester. One is the output replay log as to understand what is happened and all that, and also the snapshot view. Okay, so you see, if I click here, I don't have anything over here, any snapshot view. If I click over here, I don't have any snapshot view. But you know, if I click on this web_URL, this is the request, right? This is the request, right? You click on this, then immediately I will be able to see some activity over here. So you see, there are multiple tabs over here. Don't worry about the HTTP data. Okay, don't worry about the HTTP data over here. Just the page view is what I'm interested. And recording and replay is what I'm interested. Okay, so go to the page view. So for this request, while recording, this seems to be the response. While replaying back, this seems to be the response. Sometimes the entire page will not be captured. Okay, the tool acts weirdly. Okay, the entire response needs to be captured, but in my case, it's not captured. It's fine, not an issue. Okay, this is while recording, but while playing back, you see this is the response for this request. When this request has sent to the server has sent this response back. What does this mean? When this request is sent to the server, okay, server has sent the response back. This is while playing back. So while recording also same thing should have happened. Okay, so if you wanted to see while recording, you can see while recording as well. When you click on the recording, yeah, so while recording, when this request has been generated, okay, the request would have went to the server, this response the server has given. Okay, ideally both recording and replay should always be same, guys. Okay, for some reason it has not captured the entire response. If you re-record it again, you know, sometimes when I regenerate, this kind of issues will happen. Okay, if you go ahead and do the fresh recording, it will definitely capture well. Okay, in the future we will see that. Okay, I don't want to record it again now because I want to demonstrate the other things. Okay, but definitely it will give you the right response. Okay, so replay and recording typically should be same. Okay, recording should be the benchmark. Based on that, that's how exactly the replay should be. Okay, whatever is there in the recording, that's exactly what should be there in the replay as well. In this case, it's not there. Okay, but if I regenerate the script, probably, you know, it will get fixed. Okay, let me see that. Hang on. Okay, let me go back and see if it got fixed. No, so I think I have to re-record the whole thing again, so which I'll do at later point of time. But you see, for this request, no, right now after regenerating there is no replay, so you're not able to see anything over here. Again, you see no snapshot available because after regenerating I didn't replay even once. Now if I replay it again, you will be able to see that in the snapshot view. Let me replay it. Okay, so let me replay the whole script quickly. Okay, now you go to the snapshot view. Okay, so you see, you will be able to see the snapshot view. At least the script needs to be replayed once before you can see the snapshot, guys. Without replaying, if you wanted to see anything, you will not be able to see anything over here. And one more thing, for this request from line number 13 to 22, here is the response. Okay, but if you click elsewhere, you will not be able to see anything. Okay, so on this note, I'll take the break, guys. I'll take the break. I'll come back. When I come back, we'll start replaying more and we'll do the continuous execution as well, and we'll see how the script is behaving. Okay? So let me mute you and stop the recording. Are you able to hear me? Okay, wonderful guys. Thank you. So before the break, we were trying to understand a few things. Okay, so we have understood so far, these things which are laid out here. Okay, the first one is snapshot view. Okay, the second one is output log. Okay, and the third one is runtime viewer. Okay, so these are the tools which will help you to identify, while executing what is happening. These tools will help you understand. Okay, so these tools will help you understand exactly what is happening during the replay part. What is happening during the replay part. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and execute this. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a step-by-step execution again. Okay, so as we understood, this whole piece of code is executed at once. Okay, so now the think time was supposed to be executed, which is 90 seconds has been recorded, but you see there is no think time that is getting replayed back. Ideally, it should wait here for 90 seconds, but it's not waiting here. The code is not waiting here. Any idea as to why it is not replaying back the think time? Okay, or in other words, the the think time is 90 seconds, which means that it should stay here for 90 seconds. Okay, but it's not doing it. Any idea as to why it is doing it, guys? Why it is not replaying back the think time? Any idea? Okay, why it is not replaying back the think time, folks? Anything? Okay, so I'm getting different responses. I want to hear from all of you. Okay, so wonderful. Why? Because watch carefully in your runtime settings. For the think time, you set ignore think time. So when you set ignore think time in the runtime settings, even though there is a think time, it will just go ahead and ignore it. Okay, it just go ahead and ignore it. So is it, Kumar, now that if you go back here and say replay think time as recorded, it will wait here. I don't want to wait here 90 seconds, so let me change it to 10 seconds. Okay, and 10 seconds is the industry standard as well, so it's supposed to be 10 seconds. Okay, so which means that, Kumar, that if I put the 10 seconds here, and now from the runtime settings, in the general, in the think time, you replay back as think time as recorded. Okay, so which means that the script will stay here for 10 seconds. Yes, certainly. You wanted to see it, we will see it now. Okay. Okay, so as you see, as soon as I click on it, and you see, it is not going to the next line, it is waiting here for 10 seconds. And the proof is clearly, it is at the bottom. You see, LR think time, and then it is playing back the 10 seconds as well. LR think time, and it is playing back the 10 seconds as well. Okay, now you see, the cursor or my control went to the next line. Why? After it has waited there for 10 seconds, and after 10 seconds, it is going to the next line and executing the next line. Okay, so this was not clear. Okay, if this was not clear, hang on. Okay, so let me change it to 30 seconds. Okay, just that I can demonstrate. Okay, let me disable the runtime viewer. Okay, I've disabled the runtime viewer. Okay, so let me go ahead and execute this. Okay, if I execute this, you see my control should go to the next line automatically, but it's not going. Why? Because it is replaying back the think time. And how much it is replaying back? 30 seconds. How much it is replaying back? 30 seconds. Are we clear, guys? So now I'll not be able to do anything on the system for 30 seconds because my VGen is replaying back the think time of 30 seconds, which means that nothing should happen. We're just waiting there before the next request is submitted to the server. Now you see, it is replayed back the think time, and then my cursor went to the next line. It is ready to execute the next piece of code. This is ready to execute the next piece of code. Okay, so which means that, Kumar, that in case if I ignore the think time, this log will not come. No, it will not come. Okay, if you have any doubt, go to Runtime Settings, go to think time, and now you say ignore think time. Now we will go ahead and execute. Now we will go ahead and execute. You see, immediately as soon as I execute this, it is not waiting there for 30 seconds because you have ignored it, and immediately you went there. And over here as well, you don't see any log for line number 26. You see the log for line number 13, and that's about it. There is no log for line number 26, and there is nothing saying that there is a think time of 30 seconds has executed. So there is no log related to that because it has totally ignored the think time. Okay, so that's what it is. If you want to play back the think time, it is imperative that you enable that. But in the Vuegen, you completely ignore it, guys. You don't even worry about the Vuegen. You are not applying the actual load on the server using Vuegen. Vuegen is only for making sure your scripts are created well and they're executed well. That's it. Okay, so that's the reason why you don't really worry about the think time or the user waiting time. But when the same script are going to the controller, this is when the actual simulation and actual load will happen, and that is when you wanted the think time. Okay, so the think time should be ideally 10 seconds. Let me change that to 10 seconds. So if I'm going too fast, please let me know, guys. If I'm going too fast, please let me know. So I got the feedback the last class that I'm going way too slow. So I'm just pushing it and then going a little fast. Okay, so if you think that you're not able to catch up, please let me know. Okay, so this piece of code is executed and the relevant response you got. Okay, now you have ignored think time, so it will not wait for 10 seconds. And this is a piece of code for the login. This is a piece of code for the login. You see login, and this is a piece of code for the login. What are those web requests? The ones which starts with web_URL are the ones which starts with web submit form, or the ones which starts with, okay, let me put it this way. Okay, what are those web requests for which you will see the actual response? You will see the actual response. Okay, note down here, guys. So web_URL, okay, or web submit form, or web submit data, or web_custom_request. Okay, so these are the main web requests, and when you execute this request, you will be able to see some changes in the application. So these are the main requests, guys. Okay, main web request, which starts with web_URL or web submit form or web submit data or web custom request. Okay, so when you see this request, web request, then that's when you will see some activity going on the application. That's when you see some activity going on the application. And all other things like web add auto headers or LR think time or return 0, or it could be something else. It is only assisting your web request. It's only assisting your web request. Okay. Now, as soon as you see this is the login piece of code, and as soon as I execute this piece of code, you will be able to log in. Okay. You see, now I have logged into the application. You see, as soon as I executed this piece of code, it has entered the username called Jojo. Okay, it has entered the password called Bean, and then it was able to log into the application. Okay. Now, if I click on execute, where do you think the execution goes, or which action do you think will be executed? Assuming that in my runtime settings, the sequence of the actions are same as here. In my runtime settings, the sequence of these actions are same as here. Okay, so assuming that, okay, which action will be executed now? Okay, assuming here that the sequence of actions over here and the runtime settings are same. Okay, which action will be executed, guys? Booking flight. Wonderful. Okay, booking flight. You see, now booking flight has started. But before booking flight has started, you said return 0, which means that it has ended the action successfully. Ended the action called login successfully. Now it is starting the action booking flight. Okay, so it has started the action booking flight, and the same log has been appropriately loaded here. Same log has been appropriately stored here or logged here. Okay. Now again, some headers are there. It will just add it. As the headers are getting added, you don't see any change in the application because these headers are added to this web request, which is web_URL. You see? Yeah. As soon as I executed this piece of code, what this piece of code should go? What this piece of code should do? If you look at the log, what does the log says? Click on the flight. So it would have clicked on the flight. As soon as I executed this piece of code, it would have clicked on the flight, and that's why you're able to see this log. That's why you're able to see this log. Okay, again you're saying the think time as 91 seconds, but since you ignore the think time, it will not wait here. And what is this piece of code? Again, you see web submit form, right? Web submit form. So again, there is a request that goes to the server. And what is this happening? You're selecting the appropriate options in the flight. You see, you're selecting all the appropriate options and click on continue. So that's this request. So as soon as I execute this request, it will select London, it will select Los Angeles with these dates, okay, whatever the dates, and it will go ahead and click on continue. Okay, if you have any doubts, we can execute this, okay, and you'll be able to see it. Okay, you see, it has selected London, okay, it has selected Los Angeles, okay, and it has selected the dates, whatever the dates, okay. So departure date as 21, arrival date as 21, okay, and it would have clicked on continue. But did you see any error here? Did you see any error? Actually, it should go to the next. It should go to the next line automatically. But you don't see any error, which is so weird. Typically, it should show error. Maybe in the next line, it will show the error. Yeah, it's showing the error next line. Yeah, okay, it is showing the error next line. Wonderful. So that is expected. That is expected. Okay, now you see there is an error over here. You see error 27979, requested form not found. Requested form not found. So this piece of code could not execute. This piece of code could not execute. So the error could be over here, or the error could be on this request. Okay, now you see you don't have enough information as to why this has failed. You don't have enough information as to why it has failed. Over here in the log, all it is saying, it is submitted that, okay, let me double click on it so that it goes to that place, which is line number 47. It has failed at line number 47, and this is the log related to line number 47. All it is doing is, it is a web submit form. It is submitted this form called reservation PL_2. Requested form submitted is not found. It is not able to find this, and then it has ended with an error. But it is not giving more information as to why it has failed. It is not giving more information as to why it has failed. Internally, I know why it has failed, but let's try to redo the research as to why it has failed. Okay, so I don't see any log related to that as to why it has failed. Okay, now this is when you see, this is when it is important to figure out why something went wrong. Okay. If it's only record, if it's only these 3 steps, guys, if it's only these 4 steps, do some changes in the recording options, do some changes in the RTS and playback, everybody could have done it. Okay, it's so easy. But the problem is when there are issues, okay, when there are issues, you should be able to troubleshoot them. Okay, troubleshoot them, or in other words, figure out why certain issue has happened, and then solve it. This is how you should be different from others. Only then you can say that you're a performance testing expert. You know the complete tool, how to use it, but once there is an error, you got overwhelmed and you are not able to figure out why there is, then you cannot call yourself as a performance tester. Okay, now I will give you the tools as to how to figure out this problem. Okay, so first of all, there is not enough evidence or data for me in the log to figure out why this issue has happened. Okay, while executing, I have noticed something and I know that could be the problem. But anyways, okay, so we'll try to troubleshoot the issue. The first thing what you do when you see some issues is you go to runtime data, you go to log, you go to extended log, and you enable this data written by the server. You enable what? This data written by the server. So once you enable in the log, where you are saying that you wanted this data written by the server, in the log. So once you enable this, now in this output replay log, not only the step related log will be noted, but also what server is telling. There is a mistake or there is an error, then server, definitely there is something going on the server, and the server would have given you some certain information. Because of this, I am not able to solve this issue, or because of this, there is certain issue and I am not able to serve you. Okay, and when it is not able to serve you, it will create certain log saying that this, because of this, I am not able to serve you, and will send you that information to you. Okay, since why it will send you that information? Because in the runtime settings, you are telling that I wanted to see what is happening on the server, or whatever the log that you are generating, whatever you are telling to the server, what is that you are telling to the server? Whatever the log that you are generating while you are taking this request, send me that log as well. Okay, when you're taking this request, processing this request and sending the response back, I'm sure you're creating the log. And when you're creating the log, send me that log as well. I wanted to see that log. That's what you're telling. Okay, that's what you're telling. Okay, so now let me go ahead and execute it. Obviously, the execution will start from first. I'm going little quickly, guys, because I've already shown you the execution. Okay. Okay, now let's see if there is something in the log using which I'll be able to figure out. Okay, okay, let me see what is that the server is telling. Okay, first of all, double click on this. Okay, double click on this. You are there on the line number 47. Okay, so this request, whatever is failed, is there on the line number 47. Okay, you see request not found, which is there in line number 47. There is only 3 lines of statements for line number 47. Okay, there is nothing much that even with the server, even the data written by the server, you have enabled it. There is nothing much. There is nothing much it is telling you. There is nothing much it is telling you. Let me go. Let me go back and see what has happened in the request before that. Let me go and see what has happened in the request before that. What is the request that is happening before that? Line number 30. Let me see what is there in line number 30 and clearly watch what is the log that is generated for line number 30. Okay, so this is the entire log that is generated on line number 30. Okay, this is the request. Okay, I'm little overwhelmed. I mean, I'm not overwhelmed. I'm little worried as to whether you will be able to understand this or not. But I'll still be able to, but I'll still go ahead and tell you. If you start looking at the log, it's not that difficult to understand. Okay, start reading this log. Okay, this is the information that you have sent: Denver, Frankfurt. Okay, and then this is what you have selected. Okay, and let's see. I mean, let's in this whole thing, let's pay attention to if server is telling something is error, or if it's not able to do or something like that. Okay, let me see. Let me see if there is anything which says. So can you please watch out, guys, and see if there is something like it says that oh, this is an issue, or this is an error, or this is a problem. Just try to figure out if there is something like that. I'm trying to figure out as well. But the thing here it is saying is it is successful. But there is something that it should say. Okay, something related to date or something. Can you see if there is anything related to date? You need to pay a little bit of attention here, guys. Because server will certainly tell you what is the issue. Okay. Okay, let me copy this into a notepad file. This is where the log for line number 30 is starting. Uh, are you guys getting overwhelmed with all this, guys? Otherwise, I'll go a little slow. Are you getting overwhelmed with all this? Yeah, this is a runtime error. This is a runtime error. So let me put that into a notepad plus plus file. Okay. So this is when I have a better option. Okay. So let me search for something called error. I'm looking for error. There is no error. Maybe something for something called date. Okay. If it's a proper application, it will throw exact error. Okay. So departure date is over here. The value is blah blah blah. Okay. So departure date applet has loaded. Okay. It is picking up from the calendar. That's what the applet means. Okay. Then it went to the arrival city. No, it went to the arrival city. So what about the departure date? Okay, here is the return date. And this is the value that it has set. Then it went to the number of passengers. Okay. Ideally, it should tell you, the server should tell you that this is the problem. Okay, but unfortunately, fortunately here, it is not giving you the error. So what I think as an error is, the script is recorded on line number, I mean on the date 21. Okay, but we are trying to execute with the date 22. So we are trying to book a ticket which is of the prior date. That could be the issue. That's what is the first thing which got into my mind. So let me change this to future date. Let me change this to future date. Let me see if this will work, just to figure out, if this is an error. Okay, so let me see if this is an error. Okay, otherwise I know why it has failed. Okay, there is another reason as well. Okay, so first let me see, if I have fixed this issue. Typically in the server log, if it's a properly developed application, it should tell you. Okay, it is still not showing. Okay, it is not going to the next page. Ideally it should actually. It is taking the date, it should go to the next page. Okay, and since it's not going to the next page, it's throwing the error. Yeah, so first of all, it's not taking the date at all. Okay, so maybe it's because you have the whole thing recorded in web submit form. It could be the issue. Okay, let me do one thing. Hang on guys, 1 second please. So this is the reason why people say don't go with 1 and 1, always go with 2 and 2. Okay, so let me regenerate the script now. Okay, so there is something that I'm doing at this point of time. You can ignore it. Okay, so let me go ahead and execute now. Let me see if it will work. Okay, yeah, it is going in. Oh, even with the previous date, it is still booking. Okay, it's not throwing the error. Okay, you see, today is line number date 22, but it has booked the ticket for date 21 as well. Okay, so it is going ahead and completing. Okay. Okay, so it is going to the next iteration. I don't want the next iteration. Okay. Oh, there is an action again here. Okay, let me delete that. Okay, so let me go ahead and execute just to make sure the script is working fine. Okay, the script has passed. So here is the changes I have done, guys. Okay, lot of people tell that 1 and 1 is not the right option because you would see all sorts of weird errors, and you have seen one error as well. There's no reason, server is responding properly, there is no issue. From the server side, clearly you see that there is no error. Okay, but still you see that the script is passing. Okay, so this is little advanced. I don't know how you are following it and all that. Maybe I should have asked you to go with a simple one. You see, no issues on the server front, but still script is throwing the errors. Okay, but script is throwing the errors. This is the very bad thing to be in. Okay, this is because of the scripting. This is because of the script not properly created. Okay, so this is a solid example. This is a solid example as to why people say that. Okay, why people say that when you record, go to the HTML based and select 2 and 2. Okay, when you select 1 and 1, you get into all sorts of issues where you will not be able to figure out why something went wrong. So this is the reason why, and it's not robust as well. Okay, and you get some errors even though the server is behaving right, server is giving you the right response, but still you will have issues from the scripting side. So this is the reason why people always say go 2 and 2. Go 2 and 2. So this is a solid example as to why people say that before you start scripting, before you go with the recording, click on recording and go to HTML and go second and second. This is the reason why people say that. Okay, now as soon as I have done that, now you see my script is working fine exactly at the same step. If you If you remember, where did I go wrong? This is the script. Find flight is where I went wrong. Find flight is where I went wrong. Okay, or the script failed. The script failed. Now, if you go step by step, clearly you will see that. Clearly you will see that. Okay. Click on the flight. Now you see select the appropriate options, wherein you select London, Los Angeles with the departure date and the arrival date. Okay. Okay, so you see it is selecting. As soon as I select that piece of code or execute that piece of code, okay, here is the response. There are 4 flights which is going from London and Los Angeles on the day blah blah blah. Now, as soon as I execute this, it will select one appropriate option and click on continue. Okay, so you see, and finally it is coming. Okay, finally it will execute the payment details. So whatever the payment details you have given over here, okay, the last name, the first name, and the credit card number, the expiry date and all that, it will put that information over here. It will put that information over here and it will send it. You see, the payment is done. And finally, this piece of code is for the logout. As soon as I execute this piece of code, it will log out from the application. Okay, out from the application. Okay, so yes, there are some hiccups during my demonstration. Okay, so one is before you start creating the script 2 and 2. This is whoever have done the assignment, this is a wonderful example. Now you know that before starting the script, if you have spent enough time troubleshooting the issue and you are not able to troubleshoot the issue, you will not forget this option ever now. You will not forget to come back here and select 2 and 2, because you could have spent enough time troubleshooting that issue. You could have spent enough time troubleshooting the issue, and if you're smart enough to understand that, oh, if I wanted to see the server log to see if server is saying something wrong, you would have enabled that and you looked at the log, and nowhere you looked at the server log, nowhere the server is saying that something wrong. Okay, you searched with the error code okay, nowhere the server did say that something went wrong. Okay, something went wrong. So the server is doing exactly what it's supposed to. Okay, server is doing exactly what it is supposed to. So there's no issue with that. So the problem is with the script itself and the way you have generated the script. Okay, is it clear so far, guys, all of you? Did you understood the runtime viewer, the replay log, the options in the HTML advanced, why 2 and 2, and also in the log, why you have to enable the extended log? Because every time the server takes the request and process the request, it will have its own log generated. And if you intended to look that log as well for your troubleshooting purposes, you can definitely see it from the runtime viewer. You can definitely see it from the runtime viewer. Go to log and you say data returned by the server. Data returned by the server. This is when you will be able to see what exactly, what has happened on the server. Now, by looking at the log, you will be able to see if this is an issue on the server side. Server is telling you something like there is a problem and all that, or there's an issue on the way the script has been generated. Okay. So on this front, we will stop the class today. Okay, I'll start looking into your assignments. I'm sure you would have done if you have done the assignment, you have bumped into that issue. Okay. Okay, I'll show you that Melly. Okay. So what I will do is I'll purposefully, create an issue over here. You see, this is the piece of code. Okay, this is a piece of code wherein you select the departure city, select the date, select the arrival city and date. Purposefully, what I'll do is I'll not give any data for the departure date. I'll not give any data for the departure date. Okay. Ideally, if the application has been developed properly, it should throw the error saying that there is no value for the departure date. Ideally, if the application is developed well. Okay. But this is a sample application, guys. I'm not quite sure if the application will throw the error or not. Okay, so let's go ahead and execute it, and then Melly, I'll show you exactly what to look for. Okay, since Melly has asked a question, I'm purposefully creating a bug over here, or purposefully creating a certain situation so that my script will definitely fail. How? By not giving any value for the departure date. How? By giving no value for the departure date, or I'm not giving any value for the departure date. I'm purposefully giving some putting a bug or purposefully creating a situation wherein the script has to fail now. But let's see if the script will fail. If it's a properly developed application, the script will fail now. Okay. Okay. Hopefully I have the departure. Oh, it went through without the date as well. It went through. So weird. There's no date and it still went through. Okay. Let me see again. Hang on, guys. One second. The application is not properly built, guys. In that case, I'll try to put some error. Okay. Now you see, I haven't given any date. So if the application is properly developed, it should fail. Yeah, you see, there is no value over here. You see, there is no value over here. Okay. So ideally, if the date has been properly plugged in, it should show saying that the flight from blah 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 city to blah 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 city has been properly booked. But now you don't see any of it. Okay, so click on that, click on the snapshot view. You see, while recording, it is clearly saying that this is the response, right, for this request, wherein you select the departure city as London, the arrival city as Los Angeles, and with the proper date, if you give, while recording, I have given a proper date, and it has clearly shown saying that, flight departing from London to and blah 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 date is, these are the 4 flights. But while playing back, it didn't give any response because you didn't give a date. Ideally, if it's a proper application, it should throw the error. And saying that blah 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 has happened. Now we will look at the log as well, what kind of log it has generated. Okay, what kind of log it has generated. Okay, this request is where the line number 31. I look at the log for line number 31. You see, here is the log for 31. What did I do? I copied the log of line number 31 into a notepad file so that I can clearly see that. Not that you're not able to see it over here, but I wanted to see it from my notepad++. Oh, this got, okay, let me close this. Okay, let me open it again. Okay, so ideally, if it's a proper developed application, okay, it should throw the error saying that, oh buddy, you haven't given the date. Okay, only this much log. Okay, only that much log. Oh, so much log is there. Hang on, let me copy that whole of that log. I didn't copy it. Oh, I did copy the whole of that log. Okay. Okay, so what does the log say? Let me see that. What does the log say? Okay, this is the title, flight selected, content. Oh, you see big color, error, EOO75F. Okay, so let me see what is that error. Okay, it's just saying EOE7F1. Okay, so backquote. Okay, let me see if they have actually giving any error at all. Okay. Backquote, Toma, those are all the font related stuff. Okay, color small, it's just related to font. Okay, font style, black quote. Okay, so they're not throwing any error actually. If the application is properly developed, okay. So it should exactly give you the error as to what this error is. Okay, it should exactly give you the error as to that you have not entered the date. Okay, but it's the sample application. It is not giving you the actual error as to, it is they're not logging the whole information and giving you the right information to you. Okay, so ideally it should, but that's not happening because this is a sample application. Okay, so let me do something elsewhere. Okay, what I'll do, I'll not enter any username. Okay, I'll not enter any username. Let's see what happens. Okay, over here at least let's see if they have handled anything. Okay, but in the real-time application you will get all the information that you wanted, guys. Over here also it is throwing the error. Okay, so let me stop it because it has already thrown the error. Okay, now let's see. What did I do? Purposefully, I didn't give any login information. Okay, and what is this? This is line number 54. Let me see the log for line number 54. And since you said data returned by the server, whatever server is logged, you will be able to see all that information over here. Okay, let me see. Let me copy all the log related to 54. This is all the log which is related to 54. Okay, so let me copy all that log into a notepad++ file. Okay, now let me start looking at it. Okay, so let me see what they said. Okay, this is very, very important. Again, you see there is an error. In the earlier, they just said the error, but they didn't give you the exact error information. Okay, here let's see if they give the exact error information. Okay, username, okay, password, okay, this is the images. Can you see any error information? Please let me know, guys. They're just saying error. Okay, here you can see. Okay, here you can see clearly WebTours error, incorrect password. So this is what the server is telling us. In the server, this is the log that is generated. You see clearly WebTours error, incorrect password. The username password combination you have entered is invalid. Please double check the entry. If you still does not work, you might be re-registered into your site. Thanks for the patience. This is exactly what the server has given us. This is exactly what the server has. This is exactly the log that is stored in the server, and now you are able to see this log. So this is the kind of information. I mean, when you say data returned by the server, you will be able to troubleshoot the issues. If there are any issues, you will be able to troubleshoot those issues by looking at the log as to what server has processed, how server has behaved, and all that. Not everything, you need not have to understand every single line. By looking at the common sense, you will be able to understand. Yes, this is what is the error. This is what is error. Okay, server has understood that there is an error and is giving that and giving it to you. Server might not tell you exactly that you haven't entered the username or you haven't entered the password or anything, but it will give you some information which is very close to that. Now you can right away know that there is some information which is wrong. Okay, and then now you can go back and check. Right now it's like that. Okay, now you can go back and give the username and you run it. It will work fine. Now somebody, as I'm talking about it, somebody said, why don't you change it over here? Okay, is it Lashim who said that? Why don't you change the stuff over here? Lashim, is that what you told me? Are you there, Lashim? Yeah. So if you change it over here, that becomes the syntax error. You are not sending the request the way it is supposed to the server. If you change it over here, the request doesn't even go to the server. Forget about all that. Server processing, it doesn't matter. But doesn't even go there because you're not sending it the way it should send to the server. Okay, if you have any doubts, we'll go ahead. Instead of value, I said val, and now while sending itself, the Vuegen will look through the code and say that, oh, there is a syntax error, I'll not be able to send the request to the server. That's what it will do. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. The request doesn't even go to the server in that case. Okay, you see what is this saying? Okay, by the way, Lashim, click. I wanted to tell you one quick thing before that. Everything is an argument. Okay, this is an argument. This is for this web request. This is an argument. This is an argument. This is an argument. This is an argument. How many arguments you have this for this web submit request? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 arguments are there in this web submit data. Okay, 13 arguments. So each one is an argument. Now let's see what is the error it is showing. First, double click on this error. It will go to the place where the script has failed. Now what does it say? The valve Jojo argument is not recognized within the item data. So the Vuegen is not even able to identify what is this argument. If it cannot identify, it cannot understand what is the argument, it will not even send the request to the server. It will not even send the request to the server. Okay? It will not even send the request to the server. You see, now there is no log related to 54. You see, there's hardly any log related to 54. There's no log related to 54 at all because the request didn't even reach the server. Before reaching the server itself, there is an error. Error in the way you have created the script. First, Vuegen needs to understand your request. Compile the request. Then, if it makes sense to it, then it will send to the server in a way the server can understand. But the Fusion itself is not able to understand this piece of code. It will not even send the request to the server, and that's exactly what is happening. You see, you don't see any response from the server. You don't see any response from the server because there is only 4 lines of log that is generated. Okay, why you are not able to see any response from the server? Because the request has not reached the server. Why the request has not reached the server? Because the syntax, there is an issue in the syntax over here. Fusion is not able to understand your request at all. So now you say value, then the Fusion will be able to understand, it will be able to compile, then it will be able to send the request to the server wherein the server can understand. Now the server will process. As it is processed, there is a log that is generated, and that log you will be able to see it over here. Okay, so the first thing that you have to do over here when you get the error, first thing that you have to do over here when you get the error is the error related to the script, okay, in the way it is generated, in simple computer language. They say that, is there a syntax error? This is what, if you go to a software guy, instead of putting the sentence in this way, they will put the sentence in this way. Okay, both the sentences mean the same. Okay, error related to the script in the way it is generated, or is there a way, or is this a scripting error, or in other words, is this a scripting error? Okay, this is the layman's language. Okay, or in a software language, they just say, is this a syntax error? Is this a syntax error? Okay, if this is a syntax error, definitely the way you have created the request, there is something wrong. Then definitely forget about server processing it. The request doesn't even reach the server. Okay, so this is the first thing that you will be able to, you should be able to figure it out. How you should be able to figure it out? By looking at this log. Clearly it is saying that the argument is not recognized by the Fusion. It is not able to understand this argument. Then right away you should know that, oh, this is not even, the request is not even reaching the server. Forget about the server. There is some issue in the way the script is being generated. Once you think that, there's no problem in the script, by looking at the log, you will be able to figure out that there's no problem in the script. And then you will be able to see the log from the server. Okay, server processing it, sending it. Typically, you will be able to see that log. Typically, the log will be something like this. You see, how will I know? Okay, you see something like this. This is the HTML data, is what XML is what they say. Okay, so you'll be able to see some log like this, which means that the server is processing it. You see, the web request has started. This whole thing has been sent to the server. So this kind of response you'll be able to see. This is when you know that, oh, the request has actually sent to server and the server has sent this response back. And typically you'll be able to see this lot of log. You see, just for line number 23, just for this request. Okay, just for this request, you see, just for this one single request, how much log has generated. This is all log for line number 23. Which means that, oh, the request, there is no problem with the request that I'm sending it. The server has also processed it and send me this log. Now, by looking at the log, you carefully look at the log. You need not have to try to understand each and every line, but try to figure out if there is any errors, just like the way I've done it. Okay, so you will be able to see if there is an error. Definitely, you'll be able to see. Okay, you'll be able to figure out. You need not have to understand this language, whatever this language it is. You need not have to understand, but just pay a little bit of attention. You will be able to figure out, oh, there could be some, oh, this is the error or something like that, if there is an error. Okay, so Lashim, have I cleared? And this is the first one. Now the second is, okay, error from the server. Okay, so this is the first one. Most of the times it could be the first one, which means that there's a syntax error. If this is not a syntax error, then you start exploring as to, oh, what is happening on the server. Okay, what is happening on the server, why my request is getting failed. That you can do it by enabling the extended log, with the data returned by the server. And there is no hard and fast rule. There could be hundreds of reasons why there is an error, why there could be an error. Okay, so this is what it is, guys. This is how you should be moving forward when there is an error. Okay, first, Is it the problem with the way I've created the script, or is the problem with the server? Okay, there's no problem with the way I've created the script, or there is no syntax error. Clearly in the log, by looking at the log, you'll be able to make it out. Then you enable the extended log with the server data written by the server. Start looking into that data, and you need not have to understand each and every line when you're looking at it. You need not have to understand each and every line when you're looking at it. Just pay a little bit of attention and see, if something it makes sense to you. Okay, just like recently, in just 10 minutes back, I've shown you, right? The error name or username or password is incorrect. I just paid a little bit of attention, and clearly it said that it's an incorrect password, or the combination of username password entered is invalid. Okay, I didn't try to understand each and every line. I don't know. This is an XML language. It's not difficult to understand this XML language, but I don't know XML language. Since I don't know, it's not difficult to understand. If you pay a little bit of attention, you'll be able to. But still, you need not have to understand. All you look for is there any error? Is there anything that I wanted? Okay, is there an error? Based on the error, now you will be able to troubleshoot the issues. But very rarely you would have to do it. Okay, but if you have attended my class, this is what I want you to learn. Not just record, add some transactions, add some correlations, playback, and say, oh, EP pure, the script has worked fine. No. If there is an issue, you should have an approach as to how to identify and figure out the issue. And once you're able to do that, you'll be able to peacefully survive in the performance testing world, guys. There's no way nobody can stop you. Okay? So hopefully today, I felt today was a very, very important class. That's the reason why I asked everybody to attend this class. And hopefully today, you have learned a lot of things, okay, as to how, if there is an issue, how I should approach. First is go step by step. Don't do continuous execution. Second thing is pay attention to everything. Second thing is enable the data written by the server. And wherever is the error, that request or the request above it, typically there should be an issue. Okay, start paying attention as to what is that issue. Okay, and when there is an issue, it could be the scripting error or it could be the server error. So look at both of them. So this is how we should approach step by step, pay attention very carefully and all that. So in the next class tomorrow, we'll look into the continuous execution, and we'll look into something called transactions, and then we'll look into something called HTML-based script and URL-based script. HTML-based script, URL-based script is definite interview question, guys. Okay. Anybody has any issues? Just stay back. Okay. I'll look into the issues, and I'm sure the scripts that you have created, you would have faced the same issue. But at least let me see who all have created the scripts. Oh, today is a Thanksgiving. I'm so sorry. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Okay. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Do a lot of shopping in US. Okay. I think today you get to see a lot of shopping. You get to do a lot of shopping, guys. They say Black Friday or something like that. I don't know. When I was in US, this is the very important day. Yes? Is it? This is the day wherein a lot of shopping happens. It's tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow. Okay. So go stand in the lines in the night. Okay. In the cold nights. And I used to do that. 12 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock, go stand in the lines. You might get you might get a laptop for $1. I don't know. Okay. One of my friends got that. You don't even believe. He got the laptop for $1. Okay. So yes. Do a lot of shopping. Okay. If you find anything cheap, take it for me as well. Okay, I'll pay for that. I'll do online transfer. Okay. I'm just kidding. No. Okay. I have a lot of stuff here. Okay. And what else? Christmas is around the corner, and it's all, I know, this 1 month nothing happens, but you still have to learn performance testing. You have to attend the class regularly, and you have to learn the performance testing. I'm so sorry it is happening around this time, okay, which is so important, okay, the Christmas time. Okay, so just wanted to ask you, do you need a leave? Do you need off tomorrow? I'm just asking you. Okay, not that if you say yes I'll give you, but I just wanted to ask you. Oh, Chaudhary needs it. Oh, Srivali needs it. Oh my God. I'm just trying to figure out, like, how many people need it. Guys, please tell me. All of you respond. Srivali, you're celebrating Thanksgiving? Lashim, we need to be in the line to get one laptop. Into a laptop. Oh man, I don't want you to stay on the line for me. Okay. Uh, so please, let's not worry about it. So guys, some of them need off tomorrow. Okay. So what do you say? What do you say? Okay, especially people in US. Okay. I know Thanksgiving how it will be. So what do you say? I'm just asking you. Do you really need off? Okay, you need leave. Yes, off. Okay. Okay, guys. So we'll take off because I'm little concerned about the crowd today. There are only a few students who have. I mean, not the expected crowd. Usually it is 27 to 28, and most of them didn't join today. So I know at the back of my mind I was thinking of two reasons. One is my WhatsApp messages were misleading. First I said off, then I said no off, and all that. It could be misleading. Second thing is probably because of the festival around the corner. Okay, I want the whole class to attend, so we'll take off tomorrow. We'll take off tomorrow. Okay, but can you attend on Saturday? I mean, the next day. For me, it is Saturday. For you, it is what? Wednesday, right? You wanted an off on Thursday. Can you come on Friday night? Can you come on Friday night then? I'm just asking you. Friday night. All of you ready on Friday night? People in US. I'm just asking you, guys. Yeah, all of you. Okay, so then we'll take off tomorrow and we'll meet day after tomorrow at the same time. Okay, we'll take off tomorrow and we'll meet day after tomorrow at the same time. I'll put the same message, and please, people in India, be little flexible here. Okay, don't think that this guy is partial, and for the US guys, he will take that extra efforts and all that. Please don't think in those lines, guys. I hope you're not thinking in those lines. Okay. Uh, uh, we'll try to accommodate this for them. Yes, Saturday morning. Okay, this is what it is. Okay, Friday night for US students, and Saturday morning for Indian students. Okay, so this is what it is. Timing same. Okay, timing same, link same. Okay. Okay, so change in schedule, that's what I will put it over here. So this is just to accommodate all of you guys. I'm okay tomorrow, day after tomorrow, but just to make sure that you guys feel comfortable, and I don't want all the people to take off, and then I'll be talking to only few guys, because the next class is very, very important. Okay, we'll do that, Shraddha. We'll do that. Okay. Yeah, I keep that in mind, Shraddha. You already told me. Okay. Okay. Let's do the same link. Same link. Okay. But the weekend classes we have to see. I mean, otherwise the weekend I'll not be able to teach much. Okay, Shraddha, it's up to you. Like weekend classes, more weekends we spend more hours, I'll be able to teach you more. Okay, whatever is there in the syllabus, definitely I'll cover that. But I wanted to share a lot of stuff. It depends upon how much time you give it to me. That is totally dependent on that. So it's up to you, like how you wanted to do it. Okay, so but we'll see as we proceed further, how the things wrap up, because for Jmeter I need 2 days, for Dynatrace I need 1 day, and for web services I need 2 days. So I need those weekends, that too long hours. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so either it has to be, but if I can take it on Saturday and Sunday, I'll be very tired continuously. I'll be taking it, so I need to take a day off. So I don't know how it works, but let's see. First, we'll make this Saturday morning for Indian students and Friday night for US students. Okay, this is for this week, and on Friday or on the next day we'll decide what is the weekend plan, because we have one test plan pending. We'll complete the test plan. Okay, and then we'll jump into web services as well. Now we have enough knowledge on the region to jump into web services and start doing the web services as well. Okay. So let's see, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, before that, I have these assignments. Okay, so the first official assignment, oh my god, you named it as official, oh my god. Okay, so let me see. Now it is a 4.4 MB, so definitely this is good. So Melly, I'm starting with yours. Okay, actually it should go from the down, from the bottom to up. So people who have submitted first, they should be reviewed first. That's how I usually go. Okay, but I've opened it, so let's go with this. Oh, you recorded. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, nice. There's nothing in the cancel flight. I was expecting something in the cancel flight. Okay, you just did book flight and log out. Nothing in the cancel flight. Okay, go ahead and record for the cancel flight as well. Okay, good job. And you have executed, it's working as well.
Kumar, I have a question.
Yeah, go.
What would I record in the cancel flight? I just didn't know what to record, really.
You record the cancel flight. You capture the steps for the cancel flight. As you're recording the cancel flight, you capture those steps. Okay, I'm going to show it to you. Hang on, let me look at this. So you have to stay back. Let me review all the other assignments, and I'll stay back. I'll tell you what needs to be done. Okay, this is just a dummy script. Okay, fine. I got that one. Okay, just good. Okay, so just stay back, Melly. So we'll work on that together. Okay. So this is Lashim. Lashim, are you there? Lashim, are you there? Okay, it's to all. Okay, so I hope this is your script, Lashim. Okay, by the way, guys, okay, this script is created by Melly. Okay, I'm still opening the script which is related by Melly. Not sure why. So let me extract. Okay, so let me copy that, and I say okay, and you say yes to all. Okay, then I'll go to. Okay, hopefully 11:22 8:56. Yeah, this is just now. So let me open this. Hopefully this time around I'm opening a new script. Okay, yeah, I think this is yours. Yeah. So Lashim, is this your assignment? Lashim, is this yours? I hope I'm opening the right one. Yeah. So good job. So, but I was expecting some recording to be in there. Okay. Okay. So let me clean up my downloads. So guys, in India, there's a classroom training now. Try to be there by 11 o'clock. If you're still here listening, yeah, try to be there at 11 o'clock. Okay, good. Whose assignment is this? Shraddha. Okay, Shraddha, I hope today we have solved that issue. Okay, change the recording options and it's all good. So login captured. Okay, there are no comments. Have you put the comments? Yeah, you put the comments. Wonderful. Okay, then booking flight, you put the comments. I'm happy about the comments, happy about the script. Cancel flight, go to itinerary, you click on cancel. Wonderful. And then log out. Wonderful. Okay. So I hope now you will make the changes and you will recreate the scripts and you will understand the importance of the significance of the settings. Shraddha, okay. Now you see Majid. Are you there, Majid? What is this? Majid, I asked you to what do I say? Zip the script. You're not gonna send this just the what you have sent me is the solution. Okay, I want the script. How can I get the script? You have to zip the script and send the whole folder. Majid, are you there? Majid, are you there? Okay. So hopefully you look into it and send it to me. Okay. Now what do you record? Simple. Okay. Melly, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. You have to capture the cancel flight, right? Click on record. Okay. So already you have the login. You don't want to capture the login part. So this is the reason why you say delayed mode. Okay. Delayed start. Okay. So now watch carefully. Okay, and whatever the recording that should happen, it should be in that cancel flight. When can you cancel? Only after the login. I don't want to capture the login part. That is the reason why you're recording in the delayed mode. Okay, so now you have logged in. Okay, now you can cancel it. From where? From the itinerary. So start recording from here on. So from here on, all the recording will happen. So now add the comment called click on itinerary. Okay, so click on itinerary. Okay, now you see, okay, that is captured and you wanted to cancel the first flight. Okay, select the flight to cancel. Okay, and go ahead and cancel as well. Okay, go ahead and cancel, checked. Okay, so that is cancelled. Now you can sign off, but sign off is already recorded, so I don't need to record the sign off. Just click on stop recording. So there you go. Now you have the cancel flight related stuff. You see, when you click on itinerary, that piece of code is generated. When you cancel the flight ticket, that piece of code is generated. So as simple as that. Okay. So this is the reason why you have a recorder delayed mode, guys. Okay. When you're recording, some people ask me why there is in delayed mode. Okay. When there is something that you already have and you don't want to record it, you can start in the delayed mode. Okay. Melly, did you get it? Okay. So stay back after the class. There's always something to learn. You know, some people I see, some people are leaving, but you stay all the way till end. When I'm reviewing some assignments, there is something that you will learn. Okay, some or the other option. Okay, so okay, guys, we'll catch up tomorrow. Not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow at the same time. Okay, so I'll send out a note as well in an email and also on the WhatsApp group. Okay, thank you, guys. See you tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Have fun and have a wonderful time.
One question, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I was facing the issue while starting the server. When I was starting the server,
Okay.
then it's just got out, means I was not able to starting the server. So can you?
Okay, show me your screen. Did you restart the server, Shraddha?
Yeah,
And
I
make as a
have.
presenter. Okay, I've made you as a presenter. Show the screen.
Yeah, just hold on.
Usually, when you restart the system, this kind of issues will go away. You're able to restart. I mean, start the server again, but not now. Typically, you restart the server, it will go away. When not the server, but restart the system, this kind of issues will go away. Okay, right click on it and run as admin.
It's not getting
Yeah,
started.
start server, right click on it, and then you say run as administrator. Okay, double click on it. It's working, right? You go to the application. If that is happening intermittently, you have to restart your system. That typically happens.
Actually, in a post, I read that I need to change the port. So then I changed the port, but sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not working. 1080 to 1090.
Oh, wonderful,
So
nice.
sometimes, so sometimes it's responding, sometimes it's not. That's why I'm asking. That's
Uh,
why it's happening like this.
I don't know, Shraddha.
And previously, when this was 1080, then on this window, on this prompt, I was getting some message that the server is started or something like this.
No, 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 that should not be a problem. Okay, but the problem is it could be because of various things. All you have to do is restart your system and it will work. Typically, I've seen this with a lot of students when they have a lot of softwares installed, and then they have uninstalled recently because some of the ports will be full. There could be some issues and all that. But if you don't have many tools, you don't get into these issues. Okay, so this typically happens, and when you see that issue, right, immediately restart the server, and not the server, but restart the complete system. It will clean all the ports, it will clean all the temp files, it will clean all the stuff. Then it will start working when you restart the system, right? Typically, it will work. And one more thing, what I would suggest is, can you change it back to 1080 while I'm here? Okay, 1080 is the stable. So let's change it back to 1080 to see it will work. Go to that HTTP config file or something like that. Can you go to that file and change it? It should be there in this, yeah, web tools folders. Yeah, config. Yeah, that one. Edit with Notepad++. And search for 1090. Control F1. Yeah, change it to 1080. Yeah, save it. Okay. Now restart the server, not the whole system. Start the server. Okay. Now access the application using 1080. Okay. This will be more stable as compared to 1090. Hopefully.
But yesterday it was not working. See, sometimes it's working, sometimes not. That's why I was not
All I can tell you,
aware
Shraddha, is
what
like,
to do.
maybe there is another application which might be using those ports 1080 and 1090, and accidentally or whatever it is, you have accessed those applications, the ports will be full. Okay, so the ports is
Oh,
already engaged. Now this one will not be able to start. So the best way to solve this problem is you uninstall everything else that you have on the system and restart the system so that those ports will never be accessed by anything else.
okay,
Okay,
okay.
that's the only logical explanation I have at this point. Okay,
Hmm,
so
yeah.
what could be happening is there could be another application using that port 1080, 1090, and you have started that application before this, which means that the port is taken away by that. So could be that. That's what I'm saying. Okay, I can't be 100% sure about that as well. Okay, so best way to check out is clear all the unnecessary applications here. Okay, that's the only way we can check. And it will consistently work at that point of time. Okay, and if it's not consistent, right, just restart the system. It will clean up all the ports and it will certainly work. Even after restarting the system, you have issues, we'll see what we can do. Okay,
Okay.
okay, take care, Shraddha. Anything else, Shraddha?
No, sir, no, thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Okay then, okie dokie, take care, bye bye. Anybody else has issues? Just said thank you. Okay, wonderful.